Hello, my name is Tara Charlier, and this is assignment 2 on security policies. Security policy is a document that outlines a condition and then an effect. Security policies ensure that everyone shares a common definition in terms, understands roles and responsibilities, and has a set of governance rules to follow. So you're saying, like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a tag or a tag name or an IP address? And what are you going to do about it when you find it? So what action will be taken? Are you going to log it, send out an alert, or respond with an action? And security policies are usually grouped together in initiatives. An initiative is a set of policies and parameters that are applied to those policies, and then either a policy or an initiative will be assigned within a group. So that's what it seems like happens as you create like a policy, and then you have to create an initiative in which that policy sort of resides within, and then you create like a group, and then you'll assign people to those groups as opposed to giving, everybody their own sort of thing. They're all going to be included in this group, which I guess makes it easier. So for the assignment, there are these 4 servers. We have the Windows. It's going to be a SQL server, my primary server. Linux server running Oracle MySQL, Linux Server 2, which will have a web hosting platform, and then F5, which will basically be like a firewall. So the information on the servers have their names, their location, and whether they are on-premise or cloud. So the tasks that I chose that would require a security policy are talking about the maximum password age, a task that we want to perform is making people change their password. And you do this because you want to maintain authentication security. If you set to like 90 days, which is a decent amount of time, and you make it strong and complex, you can set how many characters it has to be, so a length requirement, special characters, uppercase and lowercase letters, and then you can select how many of each that you want to require. It was noted in the video that you need to be careful about making people create a lot of complex passwords, that they'll tend to do this thing, which we're all guilty of. It's just sort of changing like the last number and then like the character you're using or something like that at the end of your password. So you don't want to make it too demanding. So then we want to assign user privileges to someone. And like I mentioned on the previous slide, you have sort of a set of privileges allowed for certain groups. And then, you assign people to those groups. You can customize the privileges more by including roles within the group. To say like the admin has a slightly different set of rules than, say the clerk or whatever, or the somebody else. So you can kind of do it that way. You can, customize them even more. It's just, assigning user privileges is, the Loveless privilege. You want to make sure you don't give people access to stuff that they don't need to have access to. So I wasn't exactly sure about this one. It's say it's my server, but it's a web hosting has a web hosting platform. So I don't know if I'm using the platform or if it's my server. So, but anyway, there's a policy, and it kind of looks like it resembles what was on GitHub, and I'm not sure if that's exactly right. But say you create the policy and the resource groups, policy definition, and the initiative. And then you assign the initiative, with the security owner that you've selected or assigned to that subscription or whatever. And then you would create a storage policy, and then you would assign the storage account to the current subscription. And then at 5, the firewall, the task is that we want to allow packets that are destined for an extender program that interacts with mobile devices. So you need to modify the rules of the firewall to allow packets with that destination go through, just automatically go through into that program. I don't know what instance you really want to do that, but it exists for a reason. I'm sure that there's a reason to do that. So, and how they would interact with each other, letting things through your firewall, depending on where that program is running. If it's running on multiple servers, would it go through and then go to multiple servers? The maximum password age. That's a security policy you should really have everywhere. Access to, kind of everything. You want to make sure that they're keeping those passwords up to date. Assigning user privileges. You could definitely use on all the servers, but this is, the 2 cloud servers specifically. And then the new subscription setup you'd want to use on the host server. So they would all kind of affect each other and the different accesses and stuff that the people would have, and the different measures they're taking for authentication and their firewall rules. So thank you very much.